I'm so excited. Jeff, it has been fantastic. We are nearing the end of our day 2.
Yes.
And what has been like 2 highlights that you've seen so far?
Our lovely. I feel like we're on the go reporters here.
Absolutely.
They're the two. I think the things to stand out for me the most. One, we're in the media zone right now, which is where I've been spending most of my time.
Yep.
What's fun about that, in addition to just meeting people,
Yeah.
is I get to look out at all the things that happen.
Right.
Now, I end up saying that on camera, so most people are like, "What are you talking about, Jeff?" I'm like, "I get to see things you don't see." I love watching this because you get to see the community interactions as they are happening. And you get to see the learning, you can kind of see on body language and people's faces, the learning experiences as they're happening, which I think is just a lot of fun, but it's the reason why we're here.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So what is not shown right now, just across the way, is really our share your experience. People are offering their feedback. Right now what's actually happening is they're setting up the bar and food for our DevNet 10th anniversary.
Sorry for everyone not here.
Super, super excited. We're going to celebrate live. It's just been so cool to actually watch a ton of people, as Jeff said, come by. Like, that's been so fun. And they're just like, this is my 5th year here. This is my 2nd year here. And they're just thrilled to connect and learn. I mean, it's been really cool. I mean, even witnessing our Red Hat lab happening right next door to the media zone, I think has been really cool to watch people just get hands-on.
So now that we're here, you've asked me this question, but I'm going to ask you,
Yes.
This is your first time. The second time in the Cisco Live. The first time like this, like the full DevNet zone kind of experience. What is that like? Like, just in general, what is it like to be a community, like an event who does it, has been doing events for a while?
Okay.
Come to a thing like Cisco Live, which you've been to before.
Yeah.
You've been to big conferences before. But to be in a space like the DevNet zone, which we like to think is a little different than you find in other places, but I'm curious, what does it feel like to you?
To me, I feel the passion and the energy to just want to skill up and just dive into our Cisco products. People are coming up to the welcome desk where I've been stationed mostly, and they're asking for specific help in how to really scale automation or programmability on certain things that they're struggling with. And what's amazing is we're able to connect with the DA really quickly and get them to converse through their challenges and then find those solutions in real time. And that's just something at different events, you kind of see and you plan for that, but a lot of it doesn't come to life. It's too hard to build. It's too hard to really make it interactive. And what I really like the DevNet zone, what I've enjoyed watching is how we don't push and try too hard to make it happen. It's all organic. And that is something that since the pandemic and going digital and doing all of that, we've kind of lost a little bit, which is even this right now, our organic conversation and watching folks come by and share feedback or get hands-on and skill up or simply just come by and ask a question. I feel DevNet does a great job by just having resources readily available in real time.
It's always been kind of this wild experience that you're getting to see firsthand
Right.
that we all talk about, but until you are actually here, like you being someone who's been with the group now for about a year,
Right.
like we all kind of talk, and you're like, oh, cool, yeah, sure. But until you're actually here, it doesn't really make any sense. And even when it happens, it still very much feels like, are we sure it's going to happen this time? We all believe it, but we're all kind of also thinking, but will it? Because I think so. But will it?
It's almost the fact that we're just so unsure. It keeps everybody on our toes. I've been on my toes all day, and it's just so fun how internally we're able to connect with each other, and also we're able to just say, where's Melissa? Where's Desi? Where's Paul? And we're able to just connect with people, and not only connect as a team, but then we're also able to create relationships with folks we have met, we've seen before, or maybe are new to us, and we're able to just learn. They teach us things, we teach them things, and it's just that cross-dynamic relationship is awesome. I mean, it really is just the best. It happens in real time and in person, and it's something I ultimately miss if I worked on a computer screen all day. So, yeah.
I feel like it's not to get too existential here, but I feel like everything you just said is essentially an allegory for developers. Like being around people, dealing with like, I gotta fix this. What's this thing happening? It's basically just an allegory for what it's like to be in the space that we hope to be able to teach people to be a part of, or at least be tangential to, so they can learn and leverage those tools to improve their network. Because that's kind of why we're here. But it's fascinating to watch because everything that you just said is exactly what we watch happening.
Yeah.
It still gets delivered, and from a participant's perspective, just peek behind the curtain. Someone who's in a session, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just in another session, and it may feel a little more organic, but they just feel like they're in a session. But for the rest of us, we're like, oh no, we're watching it. We're like, I'm sitting here on camera doing a DevNet media zone interview in this space, watching someone run from here to there because something didn't quite work. But the attendees never notice the difference.
Of course.
But we see it. We're all like in this little area figuring these things out. It's kind of cool.
It is really cool, actually. I mean, for part of the day, we were even triaging our networking all day.
Yes.
And there's a downwind impact of what happens if the network is struggling. And what's amazing is how we're all skilled on the network because we work at Cisco, right? It's just that dynamic of understanding our products, but not only that, should we not understand something, there's our friend or foe is right next to us to be able to bring that to life. And as you said, the experience for the attendee is just top notch, and we're also just bringing the right material to them to skill them up and to continue their learning journey. And I just think it's so cool to watch that in real time. And regardless of other events and other things I've seen, I mean, it's really great that we bring the right experience to what our developers are looking for.
100%. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm here.
This is day 2. Wrapping up day 2. We've got our 10-year anniversary party here in just a little bit, which is, you can't see it, sorry. It's right over there. All the foods and things are getting set up. But my question for you is this. If you could pick one kind of just fun, cool story that has happened in the last 2 days, it doesn't have to be a movie, but it could be a single interaction with a community member, whatever it is. What's one fun story that's already happened to you that you're like, oh, that's kind of rad?
Wow. He said he was going to put me on the spot, and I am on the spot. Let's see.
Time's ticking.
Time is ticking. Wow. What can I mention? I have to say it was actually Shannon's session this morning.
By the way, for anybody watching who's not familiar, Shannon McFarland is our VP.
Yes,
VP of DevNet.
that's right.
Just
Excuse
some
me.
context.
I forgot I have to mention the titles of these things. But no, it was our session this morning. He got up there, and he talked about our API quality, and it was a packed house. And even afterwards, when you think about, the VPs and other executives, right? They have a packed schedule. They're probably booked up. They've got a ton of meetings all day, and they're meeting with other partners and other things. The best interaction I saw was right after the show was over, or the session was over, he paused to take selfies with Debbie and the attendees of the session, and really even to take a group photo with everyone. And it just was so cool to just see the level of seniority and the aspect of we're all the same, we're all human. There's no leveling, there's no title, we're all here.
Basically, my favorite thing was community.
Right.
You're getting to see it happen in real time.
And it really comes from the top down, right? And it just is so cool to see that in real time. And he's been around all day, high-fiving, waving, and it's really nice to almost have that positive energy around, no matter what, no matter who you are. And I saw that at the end of his session, and it really makes the experience for an attendee great.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. You see that happen, and there's a humanizing that occurs in these situations where attendees, exactly your point, get to realize, and not that other execs and leaders in Cisco aren't people that do this, but they get to realize as an attendee, well, this is just a person who does things like I do. Right. They're right there, I can talk to them, and you feel like, oh, maybe it feels like a little thing, but it can have such a big effect on how you perceive everything else you're trying to learn. Like, oh, this isn't that big of a deal. Maybe I can do it. I had one this morning. I was sitting at the local desk, probably real close, and somebody walked up and like, oh, just look at our iPad. Right. If you don't know, we have a brand new Start Now program, but iPad, so you can kind of just take a look at it. And I asked him, can I help you with something? He's like, what is this? So I just gave him an overview. And then I said, you've been to our site? No. And I just showed him what the learning labs were. Then he says, okay, this is what I wanted. I work for a company I won't mention, but bigger name company that we're pretty familiar with. And he's like, I work with data center for them, but I've never really done any automation. I've made a couple of EM scripts and typical back in the day, but I don't do automation because what a lot of people I work with do, and I'm just not really sure what to start with. And I can tell you the rest of the story, but the reason I bring that instance up is it's a really good example of how often at the DevNet Zone, every Cisco product, that person is the person we're talking to.
Right.
We love to think that, oh, these people are loving us, and they're going off and doing all these magical things, and they are. Many of them are. but just as many as was for the first time. Like, I'm not really sure what to do. And for me, at least, that's my favorite. Is I love seeing people progress, but I also love making people feel like there's a sense of belonging. That there's not barriers or keeping. You can come and learn. We got you. We're here.
And I would just add to that like I've noticed that whether you're a developer advocate, whether it's yourselves or our VP executive level of DevNet, I think everyone just cannot wait to just help each other out. And there's almost more hyper aware of it, and it's like their natural innate ability. And I think that's what our target audience is connected with. They feel a sense of kinship, a sense of familiarity, and just coming from one of the and that's the type of experience we want as intended to bring to life. Because you're a screen, so working with your company, maybe there are resources, there's resources everywhere digitally. But how to find that is really a troublesome, right? And it's just where we navigate that, how we get there is unclear. And yet we can come on site and we still don't understand what's going on, but we have folks like yourself, folks like Shannon, that are really hyper aware and just it's their innate personality of trying to connect with people, and that's what we're here to do in person. Which the DevNet Zone, that's what DevNet is wanting to do digitally. We're creating the tools and resources to connect people to solve their challenges that they're facing, and I love it. I love that interconnectivity, and I'm a relationships person, so that's why we're talking here today. That's why we're streaming to you, and I just am looking for that connection because when we're at home talking to a screen in our tech all day, we miss that connectivity. We have meetings all day, but we're not connecting, right? We're trying to get a bunch of work done for our audience and do all this stuff, but we miss that connection element. So now we're here live at the DevNet Zone. We're seeing that connection come to life in real time, and that's just something that you can't get anywhere else.
Right on. Well, this is awesome. And
Yeah,
on that note,
thank
we
you.
should go do some connections because
Yes.
there's tons of folks here. We should hang out. So
Maybe over a Heineken. I've got one cooling off for me. I cannot wait. Maybe a pretzel or two. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We gotta get going.
We'll get going. Thanks all for joining. We really appreciate it. Any comments you have, any notes you have, we're on social. Thanks for listening. Join us in the community, and hopefully if you're here watching it, great. If you're catching it later, that's totally fine too. We're here for you. Have a good one. Bye, all.